Good midday to each and every one. Again, thankful for his blessings of life, health, and strength. And there was a time in life when that didn't mean much and it didn't have much validity or power to itself until time, circumstances, and situations began to erupt. And then all of a sudden, you begin to find out that a whole lot of that stuff you used to hear older people say, you saying now. And not only are you saying it, but I'm saying it too. Time has a way of changing your perspective. But we are grateful again for the Lord and all that He. Hey Nancy, how you doing? And so we are just thankful out of all that's going on and the chaos that's going on and the craziness that's going on. Titus, how you be, my friend, the good deacon of the Most High God? Man, thank you for being with us on today. And it just Timothy, how you be? Good midday to you as well. All right. And I see folk are starting to come on. Okay, Linda, good midday. Cora, my girl, the miracle of the Union Church. We are grateful to God for you being here with us. Sharon, good to have you. Good to have you. Bless his holy name. Good. Getting some information that I need. Okay, good. So, again, grateful to God. Yeah, listen. Hey, Doe, how are you, Denise? Bless the name of our God for you coming on and being with us. And just getting some stuff lined up and some things organized. And um, did you get my call? You know what, though, Sharon? Every now and then um, that side has to come out because you know why? Because we complain so much, and then when it's time to do something, we sit back and go, "Oh, I can't do that." That's why we're in the condition that we are in. And I'm gonna say something, and I'll probably end up going to Facebook jail behind it. As you know, they're kind of good at that right now. There was a piece that I had put out on Facebook about the BA4 and the BA5 variant that is running rampant over in Africa and Europe. And it's Gina, how are you? And all of that. And it's crazy. And then Facebook uh, gave me an option of them allowing their edited version to be seen or deleted. So I deleted it. Ida, Sister Thomas, how are you? And the reason I did it is because I refuse to allow a platform to and Nancy, I know it's a struggle, but you know what? I'm telling you, I'm making sure I talk to Molly, who is one of our executive directors, and and you know me, if it ain't sanitized, when I get done, it will be. So you ain't even got to worry about that. And I started just texting it and messaging it out so people would understand that there's quite a bit going on. And that was the thing that had me betwixt and between was because um this thing is out here. Hey, Carolyn, Erica, Thea. And so, but I said, Minister Sarah, I said, and I'm believing God for supernatural protection of the people who get on these buses, because buses are not just coming from Youngstown. They are coming from Cincinnati. They are coming from Toledo. I believe they're coming from Dayton. And they're coming from Cleveland as well as us. So it's not just Youngstown, and then not counting the coalition of people who are already in Columbus. Sylvia Scott, how are you? So it's a massive, peaceful demonstration of, if you don't act right, we're gonna vote you out. We're gonna organize you out. And that's the end of the conversation. Okay. We cannot afford to let people who don't care about the least of these, because that's a biblical principle. Jesus and God the Father have always been concerned about the least of these, and they don't care about the least of these. Pastor Jordan, how are you? Pee Wee, good to have you with us on today. Elder Boundary, how you doing? And so that's what we're doing. They're going to have a brunch for us, get us lined up, get us together. Now, here's the problem I'm going to have. I got some folk that sign up for stuff and don't never show up. So what I'm doing is I'm going to have more than enough numbers so that I can make sure that the bus is full. Thank you, Cora. I appreciate that. Timothy, I got to tell the truth. I really do. I really do, because it's generations after our lifetime that are going to pay for this. Hey, Bobby McKenzie, how you doing, dear? Do you understand what I'm saying? Our children, our children's children, our children's children's children are going to suffer because this generation wouldn't stand up. And so that's what we have to do. Well, enough of that. I done took up too much of your time with that. But again, call 330-746-1217. Get on that bus. Get on that bus. Gaither, how are you? And listen, you do not have to be a member of union to go. First come, first serve. I think we got about 25, and I need about 25 more, and then I'll be good. I'll be happy. I just was texting my executive director, and they were telling me some other stuff that I needed to know so that we can do this thing right. Okay, because they want us to do it wrong. Listen. Here's the thought that came to mind as I was going back over the lesson for today. Remember, I gave you 5 eyes, and those 5 eyes are what caused Lucifer to fall from his position. Yes, sir. You have to live in Ohio, my friend. You have to live in Ohio, because we're going to the capital of Ohio to deal with the legislation that's going on there. So I'm sorry. Hey, Billy, how are you? I'm sorry. Need you to get on this bus, Billy, so we can go down to Columbus and tell these folk we ain't being bothered with all of our voting rights being squashed and removed and all of that. Again, I think it's the 3rd or 4th time the Supreme Court has thrown the maps out, which tells us clearly they don't care anything about us. But as long as we sit back, hey, Carletta, as long as we sit back, Ella May, dear, as long as we sit back and we twiddle our thumbs and we complain and don't put no feet on our faith, they're going to continue to do. This is what I was going to tell you. Many of them, I'm not going to tell you who them are, have already concluded that we're not going to continue to push forward anyway. We get mad, we protest, then we go home. That's what we do. That's our pattern. But we have to stand up in a collective effort. If not, nobody will be voting. Let me tell you, if they take it back to where they want it to be, the only people that will be able to vote are a certain persuasion and they have to be land or property owners. I want you to think, I know I wasn't supposed to talk about this. Good midday, Pastor Mansell, but listen to what I'm saying. In the history of this nation, in the 1800s, there was only one group of people that was allowed to vote. And these people were one persuasion and one gender. Hear what I'm saying. I want you to hear what I'm saying. If they take it back to where they want it to be, people who live in apartments, people who live in subsidized housing, people who live in senior living facilities will no longer have a voice to vote. That's where they want to take us back to. And if we sit back and allow that to happen, shame on us. Shame on us that we will allow the blood of our foreparents to cry out from the ground, from the beatings, the lynchings, the castrations, and the killings that we went through in order to stand in that line to vote. And I know they're going to put me in Facebook jail, but I don't care. Too many people sacrificed themselves so that we could vote. And we sit back, well, my vote don't mean that. That's just what they want. Okay? I'm done. I done said enough. I done took up too much time. Let me get to the lesson so I can give y'all a little something. This is the thought that came through my mind. How do I stay grounded when promotion comes? Woo, 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 woo. I done got excited just by saying it. How do I stay grounded? Because if we are going to be blessed of the Lord, okay? If we are going to receive promotions and opportunities and things to happen in our lives, how do I stay grounded? How do I stay away from the proclivity of a nature that is used to self-satisfaction? Okay, all right, here we go. Some of y'all probably gonna wish y'all didn't even tune in today, but I'm gonna do what I got to do. Okay. Hey, Minister Faye, listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. How do I, as God elevates, hey Lisa, I stay grounded? How do I not get full of me? How do I keep the I from being the center of attraction? Well, I got to look at something else, because you got to remember, I gave you Lucifer's 5 eyes that caused him to fall. He says in no uncertain terms, in Isaiah 45:5, I am the Lord, and there is no other besides me. There is no God but him. That's it, Minister Sarah. How do I stay? Now, I'm going to say this, and I know opportunities that have come my way have not come my way because I was looking for them or vying for them or being malicious to get them. Many of the opportunities that have come my way are because I refuse to take credit for anything that the Lord has allowed me to do, because it's the Lord's doing and it's marvelous in our eyes. I want to read something. You may wonder why God allows Satan to rebel against him and live to tell it. Why didn't God just crush him? And so in the midst of that, this is what we got to understand. Yes, God permitted Satan to carry out his rebellion, but he took control of the results. Woo! Teach, Pastor. I'm going to do this snapshot real quick and I'm going to let y'all go. God permitted Satan to carry out his rebellion, but he took control of his results. Let me tell you. Hey, Rose, dear, how are you? Been a while since I've seen you. Here's what you've got to see. I'm going to use this as an example. No, that's not a good example. I don't even want to mention that person's name. Okay. Sometimes God permits the will of rebellion to take place to cause less rebellion. Thank you, Lord, for giving that to me. There were the third that fell with him, but there was a possibility that there were more than the third that were looking at him, but had not abdicated. They're giving God glory over giving Satan or Lucifer glory. Chaplain Hearns, how are you? Are you catching what I'm saying? They were probably watching because, many times God operates in a way where we think that God is going to do something instantaneously, but what he actually does is he has a slow, methodical process whereby things come to pass. If you remember from the previous teachings, God works backwards. So he understood that Lucifer was going to rebel, but he also understood that if this is orchestrated the appropriate way, those who have a right to exalt God would continue to do so and abdicate, exalting and worshiping Lucifer. So yes, God permitted it to take place, but he controlled the results. Satan raised himself up against God, but God slammed him to the ground. Satan learned that although he could control his decisions, he couldn't control the consequences. Boy, that listen to what I'm saying. I'm gonna say this because it don't matter. You may do your thing, but after you do your thing, God takes over. While he gives freedom to us to choose, God always controls the consequences. And this is what people don't understand. This is what people don't see. This is where the rebellion comes from. This is where people who decide that they're going to exalt themselves step out in themselves, and consequently, they ultimately fail. Woo, Jesus, Lord, have mercy. I look at people who thought they was all of that they was going to do all of that they were going to accomplish all of that they were going to be seen and recognized by all these people because of their much talking and their much being seen, and thinking that they were all of that. And to this day, they have not accomplished what they thought they could do, because what they thought they could do. Okay, Elder Pamela, look here now. What they thought they could do was not going to give God glory, but themselves. Because you know what? Man looks at the exterior, but God knows the interior. Both Ezekiel 28 and Isaiah 14 address the consequences of judgment that God carried out against his, his anointed cherub. Woo, when Satan corrupted himself to sin against God. When unrighteousness was found in Satan, that's Ezekiel 38:15. God expelled him from the mountain of God and took away his place amid the stones of fire. Verse 16, I cast you to the ground. God told him, how can I stay grounded when God gives promotions? First of all, you need to remember that you will never be greater than your creator. Let me say it again. First of all, you have to remember that you will never be greater than your creator. Let me say it one more time. You have to remember that you will never be greater than your creator. Number two, You need to understand that when you get full of yourself, God knows how to let the air out of your sails. When you get full of yourself. Now listen what I'm saying. It doesn't mean that you drop quickly. It means that somewhere along the line, what you thought you were going to do, what you thought you were going to accomplish, what you thought you were going to manage, and all the rest of that, all of it comes to naught. The sad thing about it is people who exalt themselves take innocent people with them. That's why when God elevates you, be careful who hangs around you. Oh, bless his holy name. Because somebody in your group don't want you there. Here we go. Sandra, how you doing? And this is what you got to recognize and understand. When Lucifer in all his glory, and none of us will ever look or operate like him. When Lucifer decided, did you drop the mic, Pastor Mansell? I got to get us to get this. I got to get us to get this. When you are faithful over few, he gives rulership over many. But he will never let you rule over what he did not give you to rule. Oh, great day in the morning. My daddy used to say, great God from Zion. That just came. My dad used to say that all the time when he'd be preaching. Great God from Zion. You got to know something. You've got to know what the perpetuity whereby you were created to function in and stay there. And when exaltation and promotion and opportunities come, what do? You humble yourself. You say, this is the Lord's doing, and it's marvelous in our eyes. Barbara Foos, this is what you say. This is what you say. This is what you say. I can't do anything in him. I live, move, and have my being. This is what you say. This is what you say. I'm the head and not the tail, not because I shouldn't be the tail, but I'm the head because God put me there. And when God puts me there, he protects me to stay there as long as I act like I got good sense while I'm there. Okay. And so, okay, I'm done. Because I done got excited and I need to calm back down. You got to remember something. If God would do this because of the volition of his choice cherub, you think he wouldn't do it to you? Now, I didn't say you'd lose your soul, but he'll take away your influence. He'll take away your anointing. Oh God. Samson is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Can I talk to y'all for just a second? Y'all remember Delilah had conspired with the Philistines to find out what Samson's strength was, and so he would tell her one thing and it wouldn't be true, and she'd say the Philistines are coming. Boom, he'd get up. Then she did something else, and then did something else, and finally she wore him down. He says, "If you just cut my hair off, I'll be just like everybody else." And don't ask me how that boy slept that sound. But when she cut all his hair off, the Bible said that Delilah said, the Philistines are coming. And he shook himself, which was something he normally did, but did not know his power was gone. There's a whole lot of folks shaking themselves, but they ain't got no power. Woo! Jesus, Lord, let me stop. Because wherever you are on the rung of life's destiny through the decisions and the will of God for your life, you must always remember who put you there, who created you to be there, and who can also take you down from there. I got to go. Y'all have a blessed day. Listen, if you haven't signed up, get on there, 330-746-1217. Get on that bus. And let's go from there. I love y'all. I know this was a little rough. It was a little harsh, but you can't have promotion and be full of yourself and thinking that you've earned God's promotion. You get what you get because of the grace of God. And when you recognize that it's his grace that took a flawed instrument and yet still promoted it as long as that instrument stayed humble before him, the sky is the limit. Love you, love you, love you. Have a wonderful day in the Lord. Okay. Cora, be careful to, girl, I'm going to use that. Hold on a second. Be careful to, thank you, Cora. Be careful to remember who put you there also has the power to remove you. Y'all have a blessed day. I got to go because I'm about ready to shout. Listen, may God bless you. May he keep you is our prayer.